Procrastinating, that thing you do when you find yourself wandering into the kitchen to avoid that unpleasant other thing you actually need to do when you eat, not because you're hungry, but because you're procrastinating. It's a struggle that a lot of my clients and I myself have dealt with, and in today's video, we are going to talk about how to stop procrastinating because it's standing in the way of you living your best life. So stick around until the end of this video and don't forget to subscribe to hear exactly how I would help you deal with your procrastinating. Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina and I'm a nutrition coach who helps you feel more peace in your body and more confident about your food choices using the psychology of behavior change and self-compassion so that you can build a life that matters most to you. And I have some really good news for you. Procrastination is a behavior that can be managed and overcome with the right tools and support. So let's get started. For those of you who noticed, I know it's been a while since I have made a new video, and in part it's been due to procrastination, which is fitting since that's what we're talking about today. Do you struggle with procrastination? I definitely do, and have, and talk to clients about it all the time. And in case you haven't seen any of my other videos, one thing is for sure. If you're struggling with something and you want to make a change, the best first thing to do is get curious. Let's do that together. What is it about procrastination? Are people who procrastinate just lazy? Is that what's really going on here? What might actually be going on is that you're feeling anxious. That is why when working with a client, we learn how to get really good at identifying what emotions we are feeling and have specific tools to work through those emotions rather than avoiding them or shaming ourselves for feeling them. If procrastination is about feeling anxious or some other unpleasant emotion, how would we deal with that emotion more effectively? A different thing you might be feeling is dread. I had one client who really struggled with stopping eating dinner because she worked long hours and dreaded the getting ready for bed routine. And she liked eating. It was way more pleasant than washing her hair and the things that we do to get ready for bed. I can relate to this. Eating sounds way more fun. Another one of my clients has weeks when he has to take work home. He's already worked a full day, put the kids to bed, and then has more work to do when all he wants to do is relax and enjoy his evening. But more deadlines await him. I have other clients who are also parents, and they've expressed dreading the whole cleaning the house and getting everything ready for the next day, and having a little me time started including a handful of this, a piece of that, until they were really overeating as a way to procrastinate. So the first step for you in overcoming procrastinating is to reflect on your own situation. What are you procrastinating, and what is the feeling that you are having with it? Is it anxiety? Is it dread? Is it tiredness? And if you need even more help with identifying your emotions, check out this video here. Okay, so this next part might get me into a little bit of trouble with some people, but I am all about making change as easy for people as possible. If you are procrastinating one unpleasant task by using food, what I want you to try next is just to swap your procrastinating activity to something else. For my client that I mentioned before, she started taking a rest after dinner and reading a book, going for a walk with her dog, playing a word game on her phone, or just sitting for a few minutes before doing that thing that she was avoiding. Some people feel best by switching out to another productive task, like cleaning up the house, but it's totally up to you. My suggestion would be to give yourself options to try it out like an experiment, just swapping out that eating for something else. Many of the people I talk to who struggle with procrastination eating just need to take a break. But oftentimes when I suggest that, I hear people say things like, I'm way too busy to take a break. You should see my to-do list. I can't waste that kind of precious time. And if that sounds like you, I would like to gently push back on those beliefs, because the thing is, you're already spending time taking a break by procrastinating. You're spending time debating about whether or not to do the thing on your to-do list or to eat. But if what you really need is an intentional break rather than a mindless one that you end up feeling guilty about taking anyway, so it ends up really not feeling like a break, then taking one that you will engage with and enjoy could be the best thing for you to add to your to-do list. And let me tell you, people feel a lot of resistance to taking breaks, partly because they hold themselves to high standards and they want to do a good job. That's wonderful. But you are a human and your brain wasn't meant to be operating at full speed 24/7. So taking 20, 15, 10, 5, or even a 2-minute break in the middle of the day or at the end of the day could make a world world of difference for you and can really help support you in quitting your procrastination eating habit. Another thing to remember about procrastination eating is that you want to be aware of the mental debates that can sometimes happen. One client of mine who had more work to do in the evening said it all started with seeing this cake that they had on the counter. So the mental debate sounded something like, do I want that cake? I shouldn't eat the cake, it's bad for me. Or I'm pretty full from dinner, but there's always room for dessert. Or I really need to get that project done for work, but cake honestly sounds a lot better. And so on and so forth. It might not even be something that you're aware is happening, it's just going on in your head. But the debate gets us all caught up in it. If you're gonna have the cake, choose to have it and be done with it. But be aware if you find yourself going there with the debate, and remind yourself that you don't do that anymore. It's wasting even more of your time. So practice taking a break, put on one of your favorite songs and just listen to it rather than thinking about work. You might go outside and take in some fresh air. Maybe just take a few deep breaths with your eyes closed to practice being more present in your body for a moment. You have lots of options here. Now, I do want to speak specifically to my friends out there who struggle with binge eating like many of my clients. If you really struggle in the evenings, if you're regularly binging at night, then creating a planned snack that you standardize can be a big help. Maybe it's a yogurt and berries, or 2 pieces of toast with peanut butter, or some fruit, or some veggies and hummus. Whatever it is, plan to eat it at a regular time, put it on a plate, and eat it. See what happens and let me know. More regular meals and snacks can help offset lots of binges, but that's a whole video for another day, so send me a message if you want to talk more about your situation. Even if you don't binge eat, but you want a smaller step towards giving up this procrastination eating habit, plan a healthy alternative snack and give that a try first. Something else to keep in mind with procrastination is overwhelm. You might be seeing this huge project and you don't really know where to start. Managing overwhelm is something that we can all benefit from, and putting off your tasks might only make the overwhelm worse. Instead, try just starting. You can set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes and get whatever you can get done in that time, even if it's just a giant brain dump of how you see the situation. That can go a long way. Just getting started can help you flow into the next steps more easily. Oftentimes, you're even going to find that the task was way easier than expected. I definitely experienced that with the example. I always feel so much better after a nice shower at the end of the day. It helps me process life, relax a bit, and just feel more comfortable, but for some reason, I put it off and put it off. The next way I would encourage you to approach this procrastination eating habit, if you're just feeling overwhelmed with your task, is to break it into small, more manageable chunks. If it feels like too much, make a plan. Break the activity into smaller, more digestible parts. This helps your brain realize that the tasks are indeed small enough to be handled. You got this. And in the case of my client who was putting off cleaning the kitchen and getting the house ready for another day, was to just do one thing. Put the food away, then wipe the counters, then sweep the floors, and so forth. This makes it easier to move forward because you feel that dopamine satisfaction of getting one task done. Finally, one of the things that I really struggle with is this belief that I can get a lot more done in one day than is maybe realistic, and then I get frustrated when I can't do it, and the list grows and grows each day. Something that really helps me is to time block my schedule. It's not a perfect system, but I make sure to include supportive tasks as the skeletal structure of my day. Things that I enjoy, that rejuvenate me, go into my calendar first. Then the unpleasant stuff that just has to get done gets put in around those things. Time management has been a lifelong struggle for me, and the irony of procrastination is I end up doing a lot less of anything I want and need to do. So one of the ways I combat this, and the most helpful things I can do for myself, is to learn to prioritize things. Some things can really wait, even though the perfectionist in me wants to get as much done as possible in one day, and I end up doing things that really could have just waited until the next day or even next week, or just unnecessary work that I put on myself. So clearly I am also a work in progress here. So there you have it. I want you to know that just because you're struggling with procrastination eating, it doesn't make you a bad person. You aren't lazy, so try not to be so hard on yourself. Instead, get curious about what it is you're procrastinating. Validate that some of the stuff you have to do just isn't fun, and it makes sense for you to feel the way that you do. And knowing that if you want to feel your best and live your life to the fullest, treating these challenging things like they are important to you and that you're worth figuring them out is a great way to to approach them. Whew, that was a lot of ideas. Which one do you want to try? If you find yourself needing some outside support, I'm just an email away. I love to help people figure out their eating challenges so they can get on with the things that are most important to them. If you're procrastinating and you need some support, you know where to find me. Check out the description below. Until next time, friend, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you know someone who is struggling with this, why don't you be a good friend and share it with them? Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.